Hello, citizens of YouTube. This is the Geeky Nerd here, and today we're going to be talking about the Bushnell RXS-250. But before I begin, I'd like to send a big thank you out to everyone who's liked, commented, and subscribed on the previous videos. I always appreciate it and always enjoy talking to you guys. But if you're new here to the channel, welcome. And if you enjoy this video, enjoy this type of content, please consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. And with the PR out the way, let's get into it. So, if you haven't seen my other video on comparing this to the EOTech eFlex reflex sight, please check that out. There's some tie-ins to this, right? But please check that out. But this specific sight, I picked up on my own for around 100, a little bit over 100 with tax and everything. Picked it up for a good sale. These sights, what they usually go for, what I've seen is 150, maybe 200, maybe a little bit over 200. I would not pay that for this. Just considering the EOTech is coming down and these seem to be kind of staying up, and they've also, I've been seeing weird things that they've been potentially discontinued, but I'm still seeing plentifully available. But in short, if you can find these for $100, I say snatch it up, because you're getting a lot of optic for not a lot of money. Even, rivaling some of the Holosun costs, right? With some features, you don't have a solar panel, what have you, but just taking the cover off here. And we'll start from the bottom, work our way up. So it doesn't have any type of, it's just a flat piece of, I'm pretty sure it's just raw aluminum, maybe it's like a little raw steel plate. It is a Delta Point Pro footprint, so that may be a deal breaker for some people. I don't mind Delta Point Pro footprint, I already have one. I have, a mix of them and RMRs. But just looking at the bottom here, it is uncoated. The battery's not from the bottom. Battery actually comes from the top, which is really nice. Prefer the top-loaded battery option as opposed to the bottom-mounted, because as we all know, you have to take off your RMR to re-zero it if it does have the bottom-loaded battery. Taking out the battery real quick here. Comes with like a little tool in the box. Again, for $100, you're getting a lot, in my opinion. It's amazing how they've kind of come down in price. Okay, looking at the battery cover here, it on the very top does have a little rubber ring to keep the battery stationary under recoil and prevent it from moving a lot. You can see your PCB in there underneath. It does have two, let me grab a little flashlight here. It does have two drain holes on either side, which you can see pop out there. So if any water does ingress into the optic, it will be able to be flushed out, because it is a open emitter right there. So you don't want anything kind of, getting obstructing inside there. Apologies. Closed emitter, but it is exposed, right? So it's obviously sealed in behind here, but it is, this area is exposed if, dust, gunk, debris, what have you gets in there. So drop the battery cover back in, nice and flush. Nice and tight, but not too tight. Okay, looking at the windage elevation turrets, they do stick out a bit proud. You can kind of grab them with your finger, do kind of move a bit as far as like just being caught, but again, they do work. It is sealed, all the little electronics on here, which is nice. Your brightness up and down is there. Let's turn it on here. So I'm just going to push the brightness down, try to get to focus for you guys here. Just turn it down. It does have a night vision setting, so if that's important to you, that's cool. That is right there at max brightness. Let me see if I can get something for it to the camera to maybe focus on here. Yeah, it is a generally clear dot. Does definitely have a bit of fuzz. At the max brightness, it does have quite a bit of bloom that you can see. It does reflect back in the emitter, but you can't actually see there is a jump. So that's max. As soon as I press one button down, it does kind of jump and it removes that bloom. So that max is really if you need, like you're in the brightest of the sub-Saharan Africa, right? But then once it's on, it does have the auto off. It does not have shake awake. You do have to press the button. And then when you press the power button down, then turns the optic off, or you just leave it on, leave it there and it'll stay on for 12 hours and then shut off. And at how long these little red dots last, wouldn't be that big of an issue. Looking at the glass here, it gets focused. It is pretty far recessed, does have a nice hood, is very concave into the chassis here. And then looking into the chassis as well, and grab that little flashlight. You can see there is some reinforcement bracing around the actual glass itself, which is nice. And then, of course, the actual glass, I'll say, and talking in the other interview, the EOTech is probably the clearest one I've ever seen. Even beats out my Delta Point Pro. The EOTech is maybe a 0.5%, you know, to 100%, right? So 0.5%, maybe 1% blue tinge. The Delta Point's maybe a 2. This is 3 or 4, maybe even a 5. And maybe a bit sliding in scales. The EOTech is by far, by at least 2 or 3 points clearer than any one of these, but this is dang close second. Look at my other video comparing this to the EOTech, because they damn sure seem similar. But again, like I said, Delta Point footprint here. It is rather thick. You know, on the hood here, there is no concave, so if it does take a hit, it is going to be very just flat and flush. So that may be a little bit of reduced reliability or durability, I should say. But for $100 for what you're getting, I don't think you can go wrong. They do have Bushnell does have a fantastic warranty. I've never invoked it. I've never had to. I don't really have that many Bushnell items, but again, seeing this come on sale for $100, thought it was a great steal, and just wanted to share it with you guys, and let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have one of these? Do you guys run these? And or do you have an EOTech that you think is pretty much the same? But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, and or subscribing. And I hope everyone's having a wonderful, awesome, fantastic day, and I'll catch you guys next time. See you guys.